Hello and welcome back to Crypto Disco for another video. And in today's video, we're going to be diving into Sandbox. So we're going to check what the price is currently saying and also where do we think it is going to be heading over the next few hours as well as throughout the whole entire weekend, and try to forecasting it until next week, as I can see a potential decent trade coming into play where we can all start making some profits from this chart. Now, if you find this useful and informative and hopefully easy way to trade along with Crypto Disco, then please guys do me one favor for the Christmas holidays. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and also hit the bell notification to be updated with more videos like this so you can start making profits. Let's roll the intro. Okay, so above all else, why don't we start off the day with the Bitcoin charts? As we all know, it's a big daddy and it pretty much drags the market either up or down depending on what BTC is currently doing. So as we can see right now on their 4-hourly charts, that we've been consolidating here on the sideways for a little while now, and it's looking like it is trying to break in either direction. It looks more likely that we are gonna break to the upside. Now, why do I say that? Because if we look from this point of view here, where it's touched the resistance area on a multiple times, that normally tells me and it tells everyone else that we are likely to go further up. And once we do, if we also look to the left, we see like a gap. A gap is essentially where you see just one color of the same color of multiple candles, which means once we do break out of the zone over here, it is likely that we're going to shoot away back up to here to around about $17,480. Now, what does that mean for Sandbox? Right, as we can see here as well, once we do break out from the zone over here from Sandbox, then we should be targeting our trade to go all the way up to 57 cents. Now, that's a pretty huge gains if you ask me. So if we measure from down here all the way to up there, that's about 24% gain in trade, and that's of course without any leverage. So let's say, for instance, how can we trade this, seeing as this is the trading channel and not a fundamental or fundamental type of news? Okay, so you see this area here, that's like the most recent high. We created this like going sideways, and we've been printing quite a few red candles here, so that means this one here is the local high. Once we do break out of this local high, let me just grab the arrow correctly, here we are. Once we do break out of this zone here, then we should be expecting something like this. Once it breaks out, grab another arrow, do something like this before we shoot our way back up to our targeted area, which would be somewhat around about this zone here, to give us that 15 or 24% gains in the trade. Bear in mind, this is on a 4-hourly chart as well. So it's looking like that, yes, we are likely to go up into this range once we do break out of the zone over here. However, trading is not always predicting, but it's all about reacting to the charts. That's why with my trading style, it's perfect for reaction, which means all I got to do is see whether the chart goes either down here or up there for me to trade it in that same direction. But it's looking more likely that we are going to go back up here. Of course, it all depends on the big daddy BTC, what it does. If it falls down, then obviously we've got to follow the trend. So that's the bullish case scenario And how I would personally trade this, you'd be like this. Let me just zoom in a bit more closer to the chart so we all can see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so let me move this arrow out of the way. So once we do something like this, where we see these red candles there, when we do come back up into this zone up here, let me change the arrows into, here we go. Okay, so once we do breach or break this local high, then that is when I'll be placing an entry. But of course I want to keep an eye on the size of the candle, because if the candle becomes more sorry about that, I'm not going to delete that. So if we do like an actually, you know, let me just draw it just to give you guys more of an idea of what I'm talking about. Alright, so if it becomes something like this, and then we do like that, oh, you have to enjoy my drawings there. Just imagine that to be an engulfing candle just right over here. Pay not too much notice of my drawing. I don't use too much of your imagination, of course. Okay, so let's say for example the next green candle here is larger than this candle, that the current candle that we're in right now. Then if the second one or the third one prints to be an engulfing like this, then I'm going to be waiting for the next candle to enter, and that candle should technically break away back up and shoot us back up to around about 24% movement to the upside. That's how I'm going to play it, because I'm a breakout trader, because it does work like wonders this way. Sometimes even if we get this candle here just pierces its way through the local high over there, that chances are it would either go parabolically up, because as we've noticed with the charts, that it is this bit here is in fact like a gap area, so it could quite literally, let me get rid of this, so it could quite literally blow us out of this zone here and go boom. However, I will be paying a careful attention to roughly around about this area there and see how the next candle reacts in this zone, because if we get a candle like this for instance, where it just pierces through that local high but doesn't quite break it yet, then I'll be expecting the next candle to give us that confirmation where we do break out, and that's when I will enter. That way it will give me a high probability that we are going to be moving to the upside rather than to the downside, which means I could place my stop loss anywhere around about here. So I'll give myself a bit of a space, you know, for it to move downwards if it needs to, before it can a continuation of movement to the upside will be going like that. I hope this is useful and informative. Let me just delete everything from here just to give you maybe like a cleaner, fresher page on how to understand exactly what I'm saying. Is once we do break out and above here, is essentially what I'm saying is where I'll be placing my entry. So it will go hopefully from here back up into this zone up here, and that will give me a nice 24% once we do break out from here. It might not shoot up straight away. If I was to get the paintbrush, it might not just do like that. If it does, great. I'm gonna probably take my profit out of it before it comes back down again, or it might slowly staircase its way up like this. And if that happens, either way, I'm going to be keeping hold of my trade until I see us reach to my target, which would be up here. Now I hope this is more of a plain and easy understanding on how I'm going to be trading the Sandbox to try to make as massive profits from here as possible. I will be using leverage because I am a leverage trader, I'm going to probably go in with 3 or 4x, so that will give me like a humongous return back. But be careful, guys, whenever you use your leverage trading. Always keep an eye on the chart and make sure you do put a stop loss so you don't liquidate the entirety of your account. Now, hopefully this time useful and informative. Please give me a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so I'll update you with more content like this. So until then, see you later and have a happy Christmas.